everybody, welcome to The Colors of Beauty by Elle. I'm Isabelle. Welcome back and welcome all my new subscribers. So do you guys remember that book when you were a little kid? Did you ever read that book, Dear God, It's Me, Margaret? And she wanted to have, she was praying to get, you know, her breasts developed, and she was praying to get her period. Do you guys remember that? I don't know if you've ever read it or whatever, but I think everybody, all the little girls in my school read that book. And then once you got your period, you were like, oh my gosh, why did I want this period? When you were, you know, I was the type of person that was like on the bed with a heating pad, would miss school because my cramping is so bad, and you know, I was just moody all the time and just like, and you just wish your period would go away. But so I was like thinking about all this stuff because of now that I'm a mature woman. I'm 53 years old, no, 54 years old. Oh my gosh, I want to make myself younger. I'm 54 years old. Sorry, those are my dogs. And you know, and for the mature community of women, I'm sure that you're either, you know, approaching menopause, premenopausal, or at menopause already. So I want to name this this series that I'm going to be doing My Menopause. So I want to share with you some things about what I'm going through, what I've been doing to relieve some symptoms, and things like that in my side for my menopause. So let's go back to the beginning. Premenopausal usually starts about I don't know, about 40. It could start as early as 30 or sometimes even younger, depending on the health of the woman and the way she she is physically. Menopause is usually different for it is actually different for every woman. Though we have sometimes the same symptoms, it could be either worse or not as much. Also, menopause usually lasts about it could be anywhere from 4 years, I think, to about 10 years. I know, right? And then when you stop having periods for a full year, that's when you are actually menopause. You're in the menopause stage. So a lot of women, you know, they think they're in that stage already, but it could just be your period that you're having. You know, if you're having just, you know, rough period or something like that, or your body's going through something, I would definitely go see your doctor. The way you know that you're in premenopausal, what I did was I actually went to my physician myself. For me, I was having a lot of different symptoms, which I'll get into in a minute. But I went to my gynecologist, and I told her, you know, I'm like having all these different things happening to me, to my body, and I don't know what it is. Am I like going crazy? Because I was actually having depression as well. So I had to go to my doctor and ask, you know, what was going on. So she actually did a panel on me for my hormones. She did a whole thing on me. She tested my cholesterol and my this and that. I don't know what else they tested. They tested my estrogen. my what else did they test? What is that man stuff? You know, estrogen is the women, right? Progesterone, maybe, I don't know. So she tested all kinds of stuff, all my hormones, all of them, and I found out that I was really in premenopausal stage. I was actually there, premenopausal. I was like, oh man, really? I started premenopause at the age of, I was early, you guys. I was one of those unfortunate people that started my premenopause around, I don't know, late 30s. And I'm still going through it. It's not, you know, that this is for me, for my experience. It has been a very interesting road up to this point. So I just was like, oh man, why? Why am I going through this premenopausal stage when I'm only 30 something? You know, then it was just been a little bit difficult for me. So I had to figure out my way on how to be feeling a little bit healthier, which I'll get to later. But the symptoms that I was having, I was having hot flashes, really, really bad. The hot flashes that I was having, the first time I experienced a hot flash, I remember I was at work. I'm a retired assistant for an ophthalmologist, a doctor. I would assist him in surgeries, you know, for the cataracts and such. So I was sitting there at my desk filling out some forms, and then all of a sudden I just got this wave of heat. I was like, oh my God, what is happening to me? It started actually literally, for me, this is my experience. It actually started on my chest, okay? My chest got really super hot, like somebody laid a really hot towel, wet towel on me, without the wet, but you know, it was really, really hot. And then it was just, and then it spread through my back, and I was like, holy cow, is it hot in here or what? And I was like doing this, and then it started to go up my face. I have rosacea anyways, so my face got like beet red, and I was so hot. I had no idea what was happening to me. I was like, what the heck? So I got up, I went to go get some water from the cooler, I remember. And I started drinking the water. I went to the bathroom and I started putting water on me. You know, I was like fanning myself. And then it started to subside, which was like, oh my gosh. I thought I was like, I don't know. It was just the oddest feeling. I've never, ever, ever had that feeling before, ever. Announced to me that I was going to have those feelings again and again and again. But that was the very first time that I have felt a hot flash. Now, other symptoms that I had started to develop, I started to get really, I started to have vaginal dryness, a little bit of vaginal dryness, which I know it's kind of TMI, but it's part of being a woman and part of going through this stage. When I would go to the bathroom, when I would go urinate, it would kind of sting a little bit because I was so dry. Also, during sex, I found that it was uncomfortable because it was, I was just the vaginal wall is used to having, you know, just being more moist in there, I guess, for the lack of a better word, I don't know. Lubricate, I guess. Lubricant. It would be lack of lubrication. And then, you know, with the friction and everything, it was uncomfortable for me. Then I started having mood swings. Like, I'd be like all up and just happy and everything, and then all of a sudden I'd be like upset. I'd be like just sad, you know, really sad. And it was like weird, but that's a different story because I'm I do have depression, and like I think most premenopausal women do. So that's kind of like in that category as well. Other symptoms I have are what else do I have? I have I can't sleep. I can't sleep at night. I have insomnia. I just it's horrible because some nights I'll go to bed thinking, okay, I'm tired. You know, I'm really tired. I've done so much in the daytime, and then I go to bed, and then I'm up. I'm awake, like an owl. I'm like, ooh, 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 you know, and it's terrible because your partner's asleep next to you, and he, you know, and you're listening to him like heavy breathing, you know, nice and sleeping, and you're like fully awake, and you're like thinking, oh my gosh, what the heck? And you get up in the morning, you know, you have to get up and start your day or whatnot, and you're like tired, and I try to take a nap because I'm tired because I didn't sleep, but I can't nap because I'm not sleeping, because I can't sleep. So that's one of my symptoms as well. Fatigue is a big one for me too, because I get really I get tired, and I feel drained from doing nothing. You know, they say that when you don't do nothing, that makes you want to do more of nothing, you know, and that's what I was going through as well. Other symptoms, I mean, it just goes on and on. Oh, and let's talk about losing urine for a little bit, okay? Coughing. I hate in you know, when I in the wintertime when I get sick, or whenever I have like a coughing spell, yeah, I do lose a little bit of urine on that too. Sneezing, oh yes, when I have allergies, you know, you just like, you do your Kegel exercises, you know, and it doesn't matter how much Kegel exercises you do, you know, there goes a little bit of fluid, you know. So that's that's another symptom that I have. My breast, oh my gosh, my breast, very, very tender, very sore. So I've had to go out and buy, you know, something that has a little bit more support, more pounding on it, because it doesn't matter, you know, if you hug somebody or if you just like get near something, oh, it feels like almost, to me, for me, it feels like my breasts were pregnant, you know, like when when you have a baby, you know, or you're pregnant, your breast hurt, that's how it feels for me. Let's see. Another symptom is that some people get is low sex drive. I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't. So it's not, that's not a factor for me. But I know some women don't want anything to do with having sex with their partners, because probably that comes into correspondence with the dryness of the vaginal wall. So, you know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to have sex because it's going to hurt, it's going to be dry, I'm going to, you know, bleed or whatever. But I don't have the low sex drive for me. Thank goodness for that, because yeah, I think my husband would be like, it's, yeah. But, you know, then again, I am Latina, so I don't know. So anyways, those are my symptoms for that I've had to, you know, been dealing with for premenopausal symptoms. Also, what I wanted to address also is if you have irregular periods, like if you're going, like you could have like a real heavy period and a light period and a spotting and a not spotting, and you know, that's another symptom of premenopause. Now, if you're having symptoms of you know, really heavy blood clots, or symptoms of heavy bleeding after you have intercourse, you probably want to go see a doctor at that point as well, because it might have something else going on there, you know, besides the premenopause thing. So you really want to do that. So, you know, as far as the symptoms go, like I said, you really want to go check with your doctor for those things. If you're experiencing those things like more often than just one time or whatever, you know, go to your doctor. And I am not a doctor, so these are the symptoms that I have been having. So I'm just touching base on the symptoms that I have been having with my premenopausal adventure, as I call it, that I started since I was like in my late 30s, and I'm 54, and I'm still having premenopausal symptoms. So I am going to stop at this point here, because in my next video I want to go with do something, you know, go on with the series of my premenopausal, but I do want to say that I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a surgeon, and I'm not a healthcare professional in that particular field. So I just want you to know that the things that I'm telling you are my experiences. So that being said, I will see you guys in the next video of what I am calling my menopause. So I hope you guys, you know, enjoy this series. Let me know down below what you think. I will touch more on this, on the symptoms and what I am doing to relieve them. What I have found to be relieving for me. So maybe it might help somebody out there. Okay, okay, you guys, that's it. Have a beautiful, colorful day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Follow me on all my social medias down below. And have a beautiful, colorful day. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Subscribe.